This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Welcome back to Around Kansas, and with me is Colonel Retired Don Ballard, and yes, around his neck that is a Medal of Honor. And Don was one of the featured speakers here tonight at the Museum of the Kansas National Guard, and he actually presented another Medal of Honor to the museum that another soldier had earned quite a long time ago. Don, what an honor that was, and you were instrumental in making that happen.
Oh, yes, it was a very, very auspicious occasion, and I certainly enjoyed it myself.
Well, I got to go a few weeks ago to the gravesite of this soldier in Monticello, Kansas, who was in the Spanish-American War, and earned this Medal of Honor by swimming a river under fire. Just an incredible deal. So you're having earned a Medal of Honor in Vietnam when you learned the story of this other soldier who I think that you remarked in at his graveside that you actually were familiar with his story.
I was, as being another guardsman, and one of the things that we can all associate with is, you know, veterans serving together for the same reasons and the same outfits and that kind of thing. So, yes, when I first got into the Kansas Guard, I looked at the history of the other Medal of Honor recipients, and even did a vignette on him several years ago. And we traveled around the state of Kansas doing little vignettes, remembering the Medal of Honor recipients. And it was an ad campaign for recruitment for the National Guard. Should be in an archive someplace.
We'll look for that. Yeah. Thanks. Now, your service, when you earned the Medal of Honor, you were a corpsman, Navy corpsman, is that right?
Yes, Navy corpsman attached to the Marine Corps.
So what does that mean for those that aren't familiar with the service?
Okay, well, the Marine Corps is a division or a department of the Navy, and they're the amphibious land force, you know, the infantry, if you will. Mm-hmm. And they serve on ships, and then when they need to get off the ships and go attack the land bases, then they take corpsmen with them. And the corpsman has to be trained up before they get to that point so they can learn to keep up with them and learn to communicate with them and learn, you know, the Marine practices. So they sent us to the Marine Corps Field Medical Service School, which we call their Marine Corps Boot Camp, in order to learn to communicate with them.
Fort Wallace was the fightingest fort in the West. Fossils, Indians, soldiers, scouts, wagons, trails, pioneers, stories. Discover the story of Fort Wallace and the people who served here, the people who fought here, the people who settled here. Wallace County, where the past is present.